is presented by the student graduating with the highest grade point average of the class of 2008. This year's valedictorian has completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in English, and I am pleased to announce that it is Brian Lee Letchworth.
President Shaver, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, administration, honored guests, families, friends, and fellow graduates of the class of 2008. Today, we congregate in this great hall to celebrate dedication, achievement, scholarship, perseverance, and ultimately, conclusion. Today, life's progress takes a turn, makes a shift. A new beginning awaits each and every one of us as we depart. It's funny to think that only yesterday we graduates were all students, and that by tomorrow most of us will be unemployed and uninsured. Our student loan deferments will run out, and most certainly, in the not-so-distant future, we may each find ourselves cursing the insanity of a liberal arts education. It is worth noting that the Marymount Manhattan class of 2008 owes the federal government alone more than the entire Upper East Side owes MasterCard. And Visa. For now, however, I think we should leave the future in its place and take some time to rejoice and admire this rare occurrence along humankind's course. Today, our unique, varying, and individual paths converge. Our respective ventures and wanderings culminate in this ultimate shared experience. Some of us first landed on the shores of Marymount fresh out of high school, innocent, still acne-prone, too smart for our own good. Others joined ranks later, maybe after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 attempts elsewhere. Some of us had children, families, others grandchildren. Some of us came from down the block, and some of us came from far reaches of this country and the world. It's hard to imagine how so many diverse beginnings made their way towards this one fleeting equality. Today, our presence is testament to a rejection of fundamentality and a readiness to question meaning and ideologies. We have challenged ourselves academically, intellectually, spiritually, politically, economically, emotionally, and ultimately, we have taught ourselves how to confront failure. Emerson wrote that men succeed when they realize that their failures are the preparation for their victories. Today we admit to critical thinking and revel in the victory of higher learning. We take pride in having spent long hours and late nights merely gravitating toward the essentials. We acknowledge our potential to become lifelong thinkers, learners, and doers. Class of 2008, stand tall and proud. Your accomplishment is truly remarkable. But now a challenge. If you look around, you might notice people whom you've never seen before sitting nearby. Chances are you might not even know who I am. Graver to admit, those whom you've spent a good amount of your undergraduate career with you might never see again. Perhaps it's difficult to imagine, but as we leave here today, each and every one of us will begin searching out a new path, a new task, a new direction. We've only just converged, but divergence begins of its own volition. If you've had the misfortune of watching or reading the news lately, you know that the spirit of the world is temperamental and erratic. War rages on. Genocide, racism, hunger, and AIDS are all dangerously prevalent. The President of the United States, the most powerful country in the world, is generally disliked. The governor of New York trucks in prostitution, and the police can't murder you unless they shoot you 51 times. In short, we live in perilous times. It would be natural, however, though, for me to stand before you today and provoke you all to go out and make change. Do something. However, I'm not certain if I believe in the practicality of such a demand. Nevertheless, as we each stray from that collective path we find ourselves on today, I ask you to think long and hard about the years spent leading up to this point. As I've said before, we now possess the potential for being lifelong learners, thinkers, and doers. We've been engaged in noble pursuits all along. Why stop now? It is therefore my express wish that we, the class of 2008, keep on keeping on. That we continue to think, write, study, rehearse, create, paint, preach, practice, observe, philosophize, and ultimately function outside of the box. And maybe one day we'll find ourselves brought back together again. I don't believe in the finality of answers, but I do believe in the unwavering necessity to find questions. If you and I have learned nothing else over the last years, I hope it is this: never settle, never settle, never settle. I leave you now with the surely immortal words of a poet named Patrick Rosell, who said, "Brothers and sisters, on nights like this we dance because we don't know any better. Thank God that we don't, or else we might live forever sitting down." Thank you.